أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ورتل القرآن ترتيلا صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا نور الله. Alhamdulillah, all praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and countless salutations upon beloved of Allah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah, this is our second program in this blessed month of Ramadan. I pray each and every one of you who is listening out there to me is in the best of health and iman. And I would like to thank Al-Markaz Islami once again for producing programs during this blessed month of Ramadan to educate our public. I recommend to those of you who are listening to me for the first time, I recommend that you watch the first program which we did last week, where we talked about the history of Tajweed and why it is essential for each and every one of you to learn and to apply when reading the Quran al-Kareem. And then for the final part of last week's program was where we practice Surah Al-Fatiha. So I recommend all of you to watch it again and practice and keep practicing. Remember, practice makes perfect, and this applies to this blessed science. That the more you practice, the more you will gain in this subject, inshallah. Today the plan is I will go through a few rules, and then for the second half I will be reciting to you Surah An-Nas and Al-Falaq, and we will recite a similar way or the same way like we did last week, to take it in parts, take small steps in reciting the surah. I will begin with the makhrij as promised last week, that we will be practicing the makhrij. Makhrij is where the letters come from, the articulation points. So we'll be practicing the articulation points inshallah today. Just before we begin, there are 5 different areas where sound is originated from, where sound is articulated from. There are 5 different areas. Number 1, the throat. Number 2, the lips. Number 3, the nasal passage. Number 4, the chest. And number 5, the tongue. So these are the 5 areas where sound originates from. And today we will be covering the first way, or the first area, which is the throat. The throat. So we'll be practicing the throat letters. Now these are letters which many find difficult in pronouncing. Many find very difficult pronouncing these letters from the correct articulation point. They will mix and match. And if you take a look, there are three ha's. One is ha, one is ha, and one is ha from the bottom of the throat. Now people mix and match. So remember, as we mentioned, the definition of tajweed is to read or to pronounce each letter correctly, giving each letter its deserved right. So we need to be able to recite these letters from the correct area, from the correct articulation point. And this will only be done by practicing. And inshallah, today we'll be practicing, and I will give you a few tips which you can take away and practice during your free time. And inshallah, because our vocal cords are rusty, we haven't been reading from the correct articulation point. This is why some of you may have not even used these correct or used the correct articulation points. This is why we need to keep practicing. Never give up. Remember the hadith which I mentioned last week, that the Prophet ﷺ said that there is 2 rewards for those who find it difficult, who find difficulty in reading. The first reward is for reading. The second is for that difficulty. So never give up. Keep trying, inshallah. So starting off with the throat today, inshallah, there are 6 letters within the throat. 6 letters. These are also known as haruf halki. Haruf in Arabic, haruf means letters, and halq in Arabic means the throat. This is the name given to these group of letters, haruf halki. This is the name which you should remember. So 6 letters within the throat. Now within the throat there are 3 different articulation points. There are 3 levels within the throat. There's the top, there's the middle, and there's the bottom. So first I will mention the letters, and then we will practice. We will practice our vocal cords, inshallah. So the 6 letters are, we will start from the bottom and work our way up. Bottom of the throat, there are 2 letters. Hamza, ha. Hamza, ha. So these are deep in the throat, so deep down. So you need to be deep down in the throat. So they have a deeper sound. We'll try that again for the last time. Hamza, ha. Now working our way up, middle of the throat. Next is the middle of the throat. So there are 2 more letters again. Ain, ain. So remember, ain is from the middle of the throat. Ain and ha, ha, ha. These are the 2 letters from the middle of the throat. Now many confuse the hamza and the ain. They mix them up. They either recite them as both as hamza or both as ain. So these are, so far we've had hamza ha, ain ha, and now working our way up. Ghain, ghain, ghain. Now this is from the top of the throat. So this is articulated from the top of the throat, and also it is a full mouth letter. So ghain, ghain, and kha, kha. Some people tend to read the kha like kha, kha. Needs to be upwards. The lip needs to move upwards. Kha, kha, kha. Just like you're gargling in wudu. Kha. When you're snoring as well. So kha. So you will feel this, and if you are reading correct, you will be feeling this in the correct area. So the hamza ha should be from the bottom. Ain ha should be from the middle. And ghain kha, which should be from the top, and you should feel this. Now the best way to practice these letters, so this is a tip. So whichever letter you want to practice, or whichever letter you want to practice, or practice the articulation point, what you need to do is put a sakin on that letter. put a sakin or a jazm on the letter and put a hamza before it. So I'll give you an example. I want to practice the letter ha. What do I need to do? As I've just mentioned, if I want to practice the letter ha, I need to make it sakin. So I've got a sakin on it. So I won't be able to do the sakin. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to bring a hamza before it. Or any letter which has a zabr zay pesh on. So I'll bring a hamza before it. And I'll put a zabr on the hamza, a fatha on the hamza. So hamza zabr, ha. What sound will I make? Ah, ah, ah. So when you are practicing where the sound finishes, ah, so then you can say the letter. Aha, aha, aha. Yeah. This is what you need to do. You need to practice. So you can try different harakat. You can try different harakats on the letter before. So first time I put a zabr on the hamza, I can put a zayn underneath it. I'll say ihha, ha. Yeah. And then I can put a pesh on it. Ha. This is a way to practice the vocal cords, to practice the letters. We can try that with any letter. And this is what you should do. Your free time, practice. Keep practicing. And inshallah, you will see in a short space of time, you pronouncing the letters correctly. So we'll try with the letter Ain, for example. Ain, Ain. Okay, we'll put Hamza before it. Ain, Ain. So when you are putting a Hamza before it, yeah. When you are stopping, so when the sound finishes there, stop the sound, and then say the letter. Say the full letter. Ain. That is the articulation point. This is where the ain letter, the letter ain comes from. Ain, ain, ha, So when you finish, if I were to stop there, that is where the letter ha comes from. Ha. Okay. We'll try the letter ha, which comes from the bottom. Ha. Oh. Ha. Hamza now. So we'll go from the bottom, working our way up, inshallah. We'll try with the letter ha again. Ha. Ha. Same with Hamza. People tend to read Hamza as Ain. No. From the bottom. O. Hamza. Okay. Now working our way up to the middle of the throat. Ha. Ha. Now moving on to the letter Ain. Ain. Working our way up, top of the throat. I'm just emphasizing a bit more so you can feel what I'm trying to inshallah pronounce. So I'm trying to be clear. I'm trying to emphasize it even more so you can get a better idea of what I'm trying to say. Al. So you need to be able to open your mouth for the letters Ghain and Kha. Some people tend to read Ghain, Gha as Ga. This is a GH. Gha. ghain, gha. So we need to be able to give each letter its right. And remember, it is very important that we recite and pronounce the letters clearly. So if another person was there and he was blind, he couldn't see what you were reading, and he could only use the power of his sama, as in ears, so he can only hear you. If you don't read correctly, he wouldn't know which letter you are reading. So you need to be able to read clearly. Every letter you read, as I mentioned in the first week, that every letter is unique. We shouldn't be hearing the same sound for two letters. They are all unique. Every letter is unique. And we should be able to, hopefully inshallah, after this 4 weeks of Tajweed lessons, we should get the gist of what I'm trying to get at you, inshallah. That we should be able to read every letter clearly. We should be able to read every letter clearly. So now we will, inshallah, recite Surah An-Nas. This was a brief introduction to the throat letters. And if you can keep practicing these letters, and inshallah you will see how you improve over the due course, inshallah. The more you practice, remember Tajweed is all about application. It's not a subject of theory. It's how you apply. Yeah? It's how you apply and how you read. The more you read, the better you will get, inshallah, and you will see the improvements. So now if you are following this program, if you can open the Quran al-Kareem, the last surah of the Quran, which is Surah An-Nas. So we will be going through Surah An-Nas today. So just like we did with Surah Al-Fatiha, I will read word by word, then ayah by ayah, and then the surah in one go, inshallah. So let's start, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل. Some people tend to read قل as in قل, too heavy. The lam should be read lightly. قل. Just like we read alhamdu, we hold on to it slightly. So here it's قل. قل عو. This is the ain from the middle of the throat. قل أعوذ. If you have a look at my lips, circle. There needs to be a circle. أعوذ. قل أعوذ برا. Ra is full mouth here. برب الناس. So I'm holding on to the noon here for 2 counts. برب الناس. Yeah, I'm holding on to the noon because the rule here is غنة, because the noon has got a shadda on the W sign. So whenever a noon or a meme have a W sign on, you need to hold on to it. قل أعوذ. قل أعوذ برب الناس. برب الناس. ناس. قل أعوذ برب الناس. قل أعوذ برب الناس. We'll move to the next ayah. ملك الناس. Maliki. Maliki. Ki. Not two full mouth. Ki here. Maliki. ملك الناس. قل أعوذ برب الناس. ملك الناس. On to the next ayah. إله الناس. إله الناس. The high at the end. Hey. Hey. Bottom of the throat. Deep. الناس. إله الناس. من شر شا. من شر. من شر. So here, whilst the ghunna is going on, min, this bit here, min, our tongue, we should be going close to the makhrij of the letter sheen. And remember, sheen comes from the middle of the tongue. Min sha. Sha. Sheen here. Sheen. So we need to be, whilst we're doing the ghunna, we should be prepared, and we should prepare our tongue to recite or to read the letter sheen. من شر. من شر. So sha. Sheen. من شر. من شر. من شر الوسواس الخناس. من شر الوسواس الخناس. خناس. Even here, some people tend to bounce on the scene here. Was. They'll say, or sharrila. Wasa. Wasil. Yeah, so you need to let the air flow here. من شر الوسواس الخناس. من شر الوسواس الخناس. الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس. الذي. Tone needs to be out slightly. ذال. الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس. من الجنة والناس. Keep practicing. So I'll read the surah and going on, inshallah, without any stopping. Inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس. ملك الناس. إله الناس. من شر الوسواس الخناس. الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس. الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس. من الجنة والناس. We'll move on to the next surah. Surah Al-Falaq. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So the first part of it is exactly the same as Surah An-Nas. قل أعوذ قل أعوذ برب people tend to read برب no برب قل أعوذ برب الفلق فلق here it's a strong a medium قلقلة فلق قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الفلق الفلق من شر من شر ما خلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد. Here people tend to make the mistake by not stretching the fa and the tha the same length. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَاثَاتِ some people tend to read نَفَاثَاتِ. They might stretch one letter or they might lengthen one letter and not the other. Look, they both have a qari zabar on, meaning they both should sound the same. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ وَمِن شَرِّ حاسد إذا حسد. We'll try the surah in one go inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Another common mistake is أعوذ. People tend to read أعوذ, but the correct way of reciting it is قل أعوذ. Dhu, not zu, a buzzing sound. No, that is a letter za. This is zal. قل أعوذ قل أعوذ قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. Alhamdulillah, we have so far covered the two lessons, Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah An-Nas, and Surah Al-Falaq. So you can keep practicing these surahs, and the more you practice, the more easy the surahs will become on your tongue. So Alhamdulillah, we have come to the end of the second lesson. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts this. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives all the ability to speak the truth and act upon the truth. And if I've made any mistakes, I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives me. And inshallah, I hope you have enjoyed the lesson and have gained information and gained knowledge. And if there's any questions, you can comment below. I hope to see you again next week, inshallah, for the third program. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.